Alright, welcome back to another Art of War 3 replay. I am your host, John Cena, and today we're going to be doing a 1v1 battle. I'm going to be the blue Confederate player, and I'm going to be facing off against a red Resistance player. So let's go and get into it. We see we got a gold scout boost going on, just so we can try and grab those containers around the map. Looks like my opponent's doing a decent job with scouting as well, getting some riflemen out onto the battlefield to grab some containers as well. We got some fighting that's unfolding around the arena. I'm trying to have some of my assaults defeat some of the other scouts while also trying to collect containers at the same time. I'm HQ2 at this point, and I'm trying to see if I can get a naval shipyard out just so I can get some deltas out. We can see that the first large container has spawned onto the map, so some deltas for early naval control will be nice to see if we can swipe that container. So here we go, we got the first delta out, and we see a Cayman coming in from the red player. My delta's got some good upgrades on it though, so we're going to be able to take care of that Cayman no problem, and I'm going to start to produce deltas just so I can get that early naval control. Meanwhile, we got a scout here in the back of my base. I'm able to get deltas over to my base successfully. Red's got a naval shipyard out in addition to a torpedo platform, so we can see that there's at least a little bit of naval presence from the red player. I've got plenty of deltas here though, 2 at the main container, and I got 2 now at the smaller container. It's going to be no problem to swipe these resources. So at this point, I've got 5 deltas, and I decided to try something a little bit different. I usually don't like to rush, but we've got 5 deltas here, and we got a nice little ramp here in the back of the base here. So we're going to see what kind of harassment we can pull off. Meanwhile, I'm going to tech up to HQ3 and get some HQ3 tech out. So we see there's a power plant from the red player. Let's see what kind of infrastructure the red player's got down. And we can see there's another power plant being built, and my deltas are going to go ahead and attack that power plant. I'm going to throw on a red naval attack boost just to boost the power of my deltas. We can see that red is also HQ3. In fact, it looks like they were probably HQ3 before I got to HQ3. So red's definitely faster on the development. But so far, we're not seeing a response from the red player, so my deltas are free to do some damage. We've already cleaned up a power plant. So red's going to need to respond soon, or they're going to lose some more infrastructure. And here we go. We got some riflemen coming in from the red player. And we can see these riflemen are starting to dish out some good damage against my deltas. But it's only a handful of riflemen so far. I'm going to be able to clean up that assault vehicle factory, no problem. But now I'm going to go ahead and try to pull my deltas back just so I can preserve them as much as possible. I'm going to keep that naval attack boost going just so I can keep dishing out damage. At the same time, I've got my infrastructure out, and I'm going to get some cyclones and hammers out. We can see that this red player has 7 supply centers out if you count carefully, so we know that red has a much stronger economy than me at this point. So I have to be careful of that. Riflemen coming in now to attack my deltas. I've only got a couple deltas left, but I'm going to be able to clean up that supply center. Very nice. So I've already cost this red player a few production structures and infrastructure, and every little bit is going to be helpful. So I'm now actually going to tech up to a level 2 avia factory. I've got a few units on the battlefield now, handful of hammers and some cyclones just to get some map control on the land. I have 2 naval shipyards. I originally upgraded one of them to level 2 for possible Vikings, but I decided to switch up and go for instead a land avia build. So my first vertex is coming out. Look at this. We got some alligators from the red player. We see 5 gators out, 6 gators out, and this was not expected by me. I thought the red player was just going to go for a small build on the water. So I'm actually going to go ahead and send my forces over to attack the red player now to put pressure on them. My thought process on this is that if red has a decently sized navy, then they're not going to have as many command points on the ground to defend with. And so there's a total of 7 gators that are hitting my base now. I've already lost an airfield and a construction yard. This is not looking good on my part. Luckily, it looks like the gators can't reach my headquarters, so I should be okay for now. Meanwhile, my cyclones and hammers are dishing out damage onto the red player's base. But we can see that red has a lot of production going. And look at this, I was absolutely wrong. This gator is able to do splash damage on my headquarters. I am in trouble here. I have no way to take out those gators, and I'm probably going to lose my headquarters pretty soon here, so I gotta see if I can dish out some kind of good damage onto the red player before I lose the HQ completely. So at this point, I decided to self-destruct one of my supply centers just so I can get the build radius to drop a construction yard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a replacement headquarters away from the water so I can keep myself in the fight. My cyclones and hammers, meanwhile, are still putting pressure on the red player as much as possible. I'm about to lose my headquarters here. And there we go, my headquarters goes down. I am in trouble. How about half my base is gone? I've only got some infrastructure left. Meanwhile, red has full infrastructure and is continuing to plop down tons of infrastructure and production and is producing grenadiers. And I don't think I'm going to be able to keep up with this. I've only got 2-3 cyclones and a hammer left. And this is not going to be enough at all. There's no way I'm going to be able to break this red player. So I'm leaving my units here just to continue to put some pressure. And my hope is that I can buy some time to rebuild my army from where I'm at. I'm going to need at least a tier 3 HQ if I'm going to have a chance at making a comeback in this game. So upgrading my headquarters now, starting to do unit production at the same time. Luckily, I've got plenty of resources banked up, so I can use those resources for rebuilding myself. I'm going to go ahead and lose a cyclone there, lose 2 cyclones. I just have a hammer left. A couple hammers and an assault on the plateau here, but this is not going to be enough. I'm probably going to need to pull off the plateau at some point. And there we go, I'm going to lose a hammer tank. And my last hammer tank is going to pull off the plateau. Meanwhile, I'm upgrading my headquarters up to level 2. And I'm going to drop down another assault vehicle factory. So my plan at this point is I'm going to go for a tier 3 headquarters. And because there's 7 gators in the water, that's 35 command points worth of units that the red player is not going to be able to use, which means they're not going to have as many ground units. I've got some more grounded units here. They were trying to put pressure on the red player, but I was not successful there. So now I'm just going to focus on rebuilding my army. I'm going to try to go for close to full command points with my factories and barracks here. So my build of choice here is going to be a triple assault vehicle factory build and 2 barracks, 1 barracks for fire assaults and 1 barracks for regular assaults. I am gambling now that the red player is not going to go for any kind of aviation. If they go for any hawks or dragonflies, I'm going to be finished. So here we go. We got a decent sized ground army, just about 60 command points worth. And look at this, red's got a small ground army at the entrance of my base. I'm not sure why they put them at the bottom of the hill. That's a terrible position. They probably should have gone over the top of the hill, but too late for them now. My army composition done a great job cleaning up the red player's forces. Red's in trouble now, unless they've got a surprise up their sleeve at their base. So I'm going to go ahead and move my ground army across the map now. And we can see now that I've just thrown on a gold vehicle scout boost. This is going to boost the speed of my hammers by 20%. And so it's going to get to their base much quicker. So I've got fire assaults, regular assaults, and hammers moving in onto the red player's base. And here we go. We're at the red player's base. I've got a large army inside the red player's base. Let's see what kind of damage we can do. So this is very important that this rush is successful. Or I guess I shouldn't say it's a rush because we're already 18 minutes in. But rather this tier 3 HQ army attack is successful. If this army attack is not successful, we can see that red is HQ4. They had the production go double jaguars, porcupines, and chameleons. Then I would be in trouble if they were able to get a full ground army out. But no, looks like red's now the one in trouble. I've just taken out a level 3 assault vehicle factory, a level 3 special vehicle factory, and a level 1 special vehicle factory. Red is now desperately trying to defend. They're trying to produce grenadiers and drop sniper towers, but I've just got too many hammers inside the base. I've also got a gold attack boost going. I do not want to leave this player any chances whatsoever. So my hammers are continuing to dish out good damage, and in the meantime, I'm continuing to reinforce my army here. Looks like we got some more hammers and infantry coming in now. We're trying to take out this last assault vehicle factory here from the red player. And red's got an armadillo out trying to defend. It's not going to be enough though. My hammer is now dishing out some good damage against this infrastructure from the red player. And I'm going to be able to clean up these units from the red player. Red is now in big trouble. This is not looking good for the red player at all. I've cleaned up the assault vehicle factory, and now red only has triple barracks left right now, and they're just trying to spam as many grenadiers as possible. Those alligators are just sitting in the water. They're absolutely useless in trying to defend the base. Since the new update has taken out the naval strike boost, naval battleships such as gators and Vikings are not as useful in defending against land attacks, which also makes it nice for players who are trying to survive after getting part of their base leveled by heavy battleships. So we can see assault vehicle factory coming down from the red player, but I'm going to be able to clean that up very nicely. Red is desperately trying to drop more production structures down. We see a couple more barracks going down, but my hammer is going to be able to clean up those barracks pretty nicely here. We see a construction yard going down too, so it looks like the red player is going to try and build away from the main plateau, possibly to get their base closer to those gators so that the player can actually use those gators. But that's going to be a problem for them. I'm going to clean up that construction yard, and we're going to be able to clean up some more structures here as well. Just right now putting some fire onto that construction yard, the headquarters. Tier 4 HQ is going to go down, and a con yard is going to go down as well. And so we can see red player is pretty much finished off at this point. I'm just going to use some hammers to swing around the back. Let's see what red's got. We see a couple barracks here, a couple power plants. I don't want to get too close to the water. Again, I want to be mindful of those gators. I know I've got this game in the bag though, so I'm going to throw on some construction boosts to fulfill a contract. And look at this, red is still trying to fight back. I applaud the red player for this, but alas, it is not going to be for any fruitful comeback. Looks like we're going to be able to level this headquarters. Eventually, we see it's taking some good damage. We see a construction yard go down as well. So again, red is trying to build away from the main plateau. We can see another construction yard going down for the red player. But we're going to be able to clean this up, no problem at all. Headquarters go down, construction yard goes down, power plant goes down, and now red is only left with a handful of buildings at this point. And look at this, a tier 1 HQ from the red player. Red is still trying to rebuild back into the game. We see those gators now trying to defend against my hammers. At this point, again, I know it's a good game. I'm just kind of biding my time. I'm trying to see if I can go for a space system at this point. But I decided that I'm just going to send my units in. We're going to do some more damage. We clean up a power plant, and we're going to clean up this level 2 shipyard now. So no more gators for the red player. And we're going to clean up the supply center. And at this point, the red player is going to self-destruct, and it'll be a good game. Alright. Hope you all enjoyed this battle. We will see you in the next one.